Alright guys, we are back. So in the last video we basically explained how to build our coffee app into the Okta platform. Okay, so now we're going to be able to, in this video we're going to create a React application so that we can start integrating this into the React application. Before I go any further, I forgot to mention in the other last videos that I am extremely grateful and honored that you guys like my videos and have been subscribing. I think it's awesome, and I am very surprised that you guys actually like to hear me ramble and talk all this nonsense because for one, I don't think that I am the greatest developer out there. I think I'm good, but there are plenty of other people in YouTube that they just blow my mind. But second, because I just think that I don't have a voice for radio. I think I'm kind of when I talk. I don't have a personality like that, you know. I'm much funner in person, I think. All right, so but yeah, and also I don't do any kind of marketing whatsoever. I just make these videos, put them out there, and hope somebody sees them, basically. So thank you anyways. All right, so let's go to this. So we're gonna build a React application. Okay. So the first thing that we're going to do for that is we're going to bring up our Finder, or whatever it is that you guys call, your Windows guys call your Finder, Windows Explorer or something like that, right? And I usually like to keep myself organized. So right now I have a folder, you know, you keep a folder called Training Room. So I just open that, and then I have it broken down by stacks or technologies that I use. So I'm just gonna go ahead and create a React application. I already have a coffee folder there. So I have a place already where I'm going to store my application, and it's right there, right? So just keep yourself organized like that. It pays off. All right, so what we're going to do now is I am going to open my that wasn't it, that was my job. I'm gonna open a new window for my IDE, which is Visual Studio Code. Now you can use any IDE you wish. Okay, you don't have to use Visual Studio Code. However, if you want to follow with my video here, and you know you want to use Visual Studio Code, it will be a lot easier, especially since I use some extensions that are going to make my job a little faster. And if you have any questions on these extensions that I use and how they work, I just made a video not too long ago that explains some of these extensions and what they do. So by all means, take advantage of it. So so I'm gonna go ahead, let me just close this search here, and I'm gonna open a folder that I'm gonna work with, and that is my coffee folder that I created earlier. And I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna open that, and there I am. I'm in the coffee folder, and then my terminal just opened up by itself. If you don't have this integrated terminal, again, that's an extension that you need to download and install. So I'm gonna come over here and I'm going to, assuming that you already have Node.js installed and all the dependencies that you're going to need in order to download React. Okay, I'm not gonna go too in depth with this because I already made another tutorial about React applications and how to build them. So I'm gonna cruise over some of this stuff a little faster. So the only thing that I'm going to specify is at this very moment that I'm making this video, the Create React App CLI just upgraded to 5.0, I think it is. So if I try to use npx Create React App and then just name it as it normally would, it would not work. Now for you, for today example, I'm gonna put Create React App at 5.0.0 and then name it whatever I want to name it, which in this case I'm gonna name it Coffee App. So this is what I'm going to do today because like I said, Create React App is in the middle of doing an upgrade from 4 point something into 5.0, and because whenever that happens, there is usually some issues between backwards compatibility between versions. So in order to not run into those issues, I'm going to specifically install 5.0 in this application. I believe that most of the issues is because Create React App just disabled their ability to install it globally. So, but in the future, when that is all fixed, you won't need to add this at 5.0. It would just be npx create react app space and then the name of your application. But for right now, we're gonna do it this way. So once I do this, I'm gonna hit OK, and it's gonna start creating an application. You may get an extra step in there that says, are you sure, do you want to create blah 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 blah? Hit yes or no. Just say yes. So if not, then you just got exactly what I got, then you're fine. That means that Create React App is working and it's installing. That's what the npx is. Npx is basically kind of like a download and install at the same time. So this is going to take a bit of time, not too long. It's a bit of time, but not too long. And it's going to basically just make all the files that I need for my application. And as you can see it up here, it's already kind of running and it's done. There it is. Now here's what you need to realize, what you need to look at here that would pay attention to. This is what you need to pay attention to. We need to CD into the Coffee app and then run it there. You can run it from here. We're still outside of the application. We need to go inside of this folder and then run it while we're in there, okay? But I also would like to have my IDE here to be at that level as well. Right now I am at the Coffee. I want my IDE to also be inside there. So instead of doing that, we're going to, instead of running from this IDE, I'm going to open a new IDE window, a new Visual Studio Code window, but I'm going to do it this way. So CD Coffee app in order to CD into it. And now that we are at this directory, then now I'm going to do code space dot. That will open up a new Visual Studio Code at that root level. And that's how I like to work. And you'll see the difference of what I mean right now. So like, close this search. So you see right now I am at that root and I'm working at Coffee app level. Right here I was at Coffee, not a Coffee app. I was outside. So I don't like working this way. I like working this way instead. This is not bad as long as you CD into it. But if I do it this way, I don't have to CD into anything. I am already at that level of my Coffee app. So it's basically the same thing. It's just a matter of this. So it's up to you. All right, so I can close that one now, and I don't need that one open. And I'm gonna go ahead and keep this wider here. All right, so now let's make sure that we are working, that this is all working. So I'm gonna go ahead npm run start to run my application, and it should just open up here in localhost 3000, or maybe in another window. I'm gonna put this away here and I'll bring it over here so you can see it. I'm gonna actually put it on the very first, and I'm going to get rid of that. All right, cool. So as you can see, we are in our main localhost 3000 running on a React application. Everything is working perfect. Let's go ahead and clean this up a little bit because I'm not gonna use any of this stuff, and I do this for a lot of the projects that I do, so just bear with me. All right, so let's go ahead and open the app.js, which is what's being basically, and I'm gonna get rid of this app CSS. This app CSS is basically when you want to run CSS that is specific to this page and this page alone. We're not gonna need that. We're probably not even gonna need any CSS at all because I don't care about this being styled. This is not the purpose of this application. So so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that import, the logo as well. But I am going to turn this into a classless component only because I like using classless components better. Oops, I messed up there. and I'm gonna make it a fat arrow here. Oh, that was so wrong. Fat arrow. Oh. Arrow function, an arrow function. So I'm gonna make it an arrow function. This is called a fat arrow, but fat arrow function sounds condescending. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of this header right here, and I'm not gonna use this class name app because it doesn't really exist anywhere because I got rid of the CSS, and I'm just gonna say hello, Louis. Hey. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and save that. Oh man. All right, so right here I'm gonna do some bit of cleanup right now. I'm going to delete this guy, and I'm gonna delete this guy too. I'm gonna not delete the CSS. I'm gonna leave that for now. Not gonna delete that for sure. Delete the logo. Delete the report web vitals, and delete that. And you can see something broke. All right, so something broke here. Let's see. Cannot resolve. Okay, so it says here that there's an error in the index.js and it cannot resolve report web vitals because we just deleted it. Duh. All right, but that's fine. We can go into the index.js and yep, there it is. So there's an import here, and it's being here's a callback for it. That's okay. We don't need this. This is basically to create a console log so you can log performance and measures about your app and things like that. We're not going to be doing that, so I can just basically get rid of this and get rid of this, so I can make sure that my application runs, and my application is now running and it's now clean. I believe nothing else can be deleted. Yeah, that's fine. You want this to work exactly like you have it right here. Eventually we're gonna add the routes in here, so we'll get to that in a minute. But I just want this to be as clean as it can be. And hello Louis is there, so that's good. So that's running the way it should be. So I'm just gonna go ahead and stop this here because this is basically just the setup for our React app. On the next video, we're going to add Material UI to it, but we're not gonna spend too much time on that as well. Because I already have another video out there for Material UI, which is actually a very successful video, and you should look for it. I explained the actual brand new Material UI 5.0, which is not very documented anywhere else, and I think my documentation is pretty much the one that most people are paying attention to. So yeah, go look at that. And we're not gonna do a lot of that in here. We're just gonna basically install it. Okay, so we'll do the dependencies installs on the next video. All right, and I'll see you guys later.